So I'm going to be taking part in the 24 hours of cross stitch challenge, which will run from today, which is Friday, until the Sunday. I probably won't get a chance to do it in the morning because I've got homeschooling and stuff, but I'm going to try and get some done while we homeschool. But for me, it's probably going to start properly tonight, going through to tomorrow, and then Sunday. I don't think I'm going to get the full 24 hours, but I thought I would record my progress as like a little flosstube extra thing. Sorry for the rubbish lighting and stuff. It is 7 o'clock in the morning. It's actually freezing. It's -4. It's -4 Celsius though, because I'm in the UK, so I wonder what that is in Fahrenheit. So for me it's -4 Celsius. For Fahrenheit, it's 24.8 degrees Celsius. Fahrenheit, I don't know. Yeah, 24.8 Fahrenheit. So I really don't feel like getting dressed, and I might not. I'm in my giant hoodie thing. It's blooming cold, so it might be a case of I manage to I actually do manage to find some time to stitch during the day, because I am so cold that I don't actually want to do anything else. So every few hours I will come back and show you my progress. I think that's how I'm going to do it. Won't be every hour, but I think every couple of hours. So if I get any chance during schooling time, I will be working on this, which is the Heaven and Earth Designs Sal. And I am Team Cat, so I will have a bit of an opportunity to stitch on this during the day while we homeschool, but that will probably only take up about an hour at the time. And then I have all of these to choose from, but I think I might spin a wheel and see. I was going to do the Long Dog Sampler, but I actually think I might just spin the wheel and see what comes up, and then when I get bored I can pick something else. Okay, so it's now 8:45. And I will be starting at 9 o'clock when we go for the first lesson. So wish me luck. So it is 11:46, I think. Let me just double check. 11:47. And this is 2 hours worth of stitching so far. So I think I just checked Pattern Keeper and it said 370 stitches. So another 22 hours to go. I did the spin the wheel for when I stopped the homeschooling, and it wanted me to pick Zen. So I don't think I'm going to be working on that for a very long time though, because it's not really something that I feel like stitching much, but I'll have a quick go on Zen when school finishes and then we'll spin the wheel again. So school lessons are over, and here is what I got done today. It's been a total of 3 hours, so I need to write that down actually, because I'm going to forget what I've actually done. And I got done, I don't know if you can see that, 511 stitches done in 3 hours. So I'd say that's not too bad. This picture's coming along quite nicely now. This corner here is a lot more faded, because when I started this piece I did 1 strand half cross or tent stitch. And then I decided that I didn't like it. It was too faded, as you can see. And then I went to 2 strands half cross, because this is 28 count fabric. But this is the Heaven and Earth Designs Sal, and I am Team Cat. So I'm happy with that progress. I'm going to write that down and move on. I don't think I'll do any more tomorrow or Sunday, because this is what I do in the homeschooling. So I won't get this one back out again until Monday. But I'm now going to dig out Zen. Okay, so this one is Zen. I'll show you the progress that I've already got on it before I start. Not much. I think I might just focus on doing this background here, because I'm not stitching the green. I think I'll just concentrate on this background because there is a lot of it. Probably can't show you because it's all pinned back, but there's a lot of boring background that needs to be done. So I think I will spend probably... I want to spend at least an hour on this, but not too long, because I don't know, these stamped kits do make me very sleepy. Okay, so it's now 3 o'clock. You probably cannot tell what I've done, but I did about 3 threads in there, and then I came along this colour and did a thread here and just followed it down, filled in that little bit there. But an hour is enough on this for me because it makes me feel sleepy when I'm already tired, so I'm going to put this one away, and that gives me 4 hours done so far. Okay, so it's now 5 to 4, and after I did my hour on Zen, I span the wheel again, and it picked, I don't know if I can show you, the Caramia. Let's see if I can, is that open? This one. So the spin the wheel picked this one, but I only managed 45 minutes. I am feeling really tired for some reasons, probably because I've been sitting down doing that homeschooling. So what I'm going to do is have an early tea, and then probably do some of this. What I want to do on this, because it has such a big amount of grey background, this is the top of, let me see if I can get it, just the top of there, just here. I'm going to come backwards and forwards. I'm going to do a thread of background and then do a part of this, because there's a lot of confetti. It's obviously a like a black and white image, so there is a lot of confetti. I've done a couple of them. There was like 2 or 3 stitches of 2 different colours there, and then I went back and did another bit of background. And because this is just all block one colour, I am kind of running my thread along in a funny shape instead of just going across like that, because I don't want any harsh lines. So if I filled like one of these squares in, I don't want the squares to be apparent, if that makes sense, when I'm finished. So I'm just trying to run my thread in a funny pattern instead of doing blocks of full colour. Because I have seen people before where they've done blocks of full colour, and then when you look at it in a certain way, it comes up like you can see where you stopped your thread, if that makes sense. I will say though, I don't like how these have been cut. Well, they're not cut is what I'm trying to say. They're not cut, and you have to cut them yourself. So that's a little bit annoying. But other than that, I think this pattern is going to look really good compared to the one that I bought off Etsy. It seems to have been charted an awful lot better. There's no random colours in this background, it's just the one colour, which is what the other one should have been. But never mind. So yeah, I will carry on with this one while I cook tea and after I cook tea, because at bedtime I need to do Lord of the Rings and Pokemon, because that is the focus for this month. So all in all, I did an hour and 30 minutes on this. Lighting in here is terrible. It took me a little while because I had to cut some of the threads. As I said before, they're not pre-cut, so it took me a little while. I'm now gonna get on with my jobs, and then I will stitch on Lord of the Rings at bedtime and Pokemon. Okay, so I am upstairs now. It is 7:30 at night. Well, evening time, night time, whatever. I tend to come up here quite early. I usually come up here when my son goes to bed. So far I have done 3 hours on my Heaven and Earth Design sale. I've done 1 hour on Zen and 1.5 hours on Caramia. So that's 5.5 hours. And I'm now going to start on Lord of the Rings. Now I don't know if I can show you because I've bulldog clipped it, but I started on this page up here and there was too much brown for me because I was doing the sal as well. So I started on this bottom page down here. So I am going to do my 200 stitches on this. I don't know if I want to do a little bit more tonight because of the 24-hour thing, but I want to try and stay up until midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning maybe. I span the wheel again in case I get fed up with Lord of the Rings and my Pokemon. So I span the wheel and Intrusive Thoughts was the one that won. And what I'm doing with that wheel is I am removing the ones that have already been picked. So after I get bored of Lord of the Rings, I will do the Pokemon. And then if I get bored of Pokemon, I will come to this, but that might not be a guarantee. I might just do Pokemon and Lord of the Rings tonight, and if I do, I will do Intrusive Thoughts in the morning. I've also got to film my flosstube in the morning, so I want to try and get as much time as I can tonight, because I know I'm going to be busy filming, editing, cleaning up. I've got a stitch with me that I need to sort out as well, to be scheduled, so hopefully I can get a fair bit done. But I will come back to you when I've got a little bit of progress done. So it's been about an hour and a half, and I have done 229 stitches, so I'm over my 200. I think I'm going to switch to the Pokemon one now and carry on. I'm watching a movie. There's about an hour left of the movie, so I'll probably stitch on Pokemon until the end of the movie and then see if I want to carry on or if I want to stop. Right, okay, so I've got the Pokemon one and I am about to start that. It is 9:05. Let's see how long I can do this one for. Sometimes this one makes me feel quite tired as well. I don't know what it is with certain cross stitch patterns. They make me feel quite tired, especially if it's a lot of block colour. But I am working off Pattern Keeper, so this one shouldn't be as bad as the stamped kits. I can't work on the stamped kits if I'm feeling tired because they make me worse. But I'm gonna, I think, start from here because this is a page and I would like to get this page done as quick as possible. So yeah, I think this is the last week. No, I think I've got another week of progress on this one, so I'm not too worried if I don't do a lot of stitching on this one during the 24 hours, but we'll see how it goes. I just want to show you the size of the how many flosses this chart has. Okay, so it's now, what time is it? 20 to 11, and that is what I got done. 140 stitches. Took me a lot longer than the other projects because it is full cross, but I'm happy with that, and I think I'm gonna stop on this one now and get Intrusive Thoughts. I'm hoping to stitch until about midnight if I can. We'll see how tired I get. Okay, so here's Intrusive Thoughts. This is what it looks like before I start. Got a fair bit still to do on this one. I don't pick it up enough. It's like a grayscale picture that I charted myself. It was on my Etsy store, but my Etsy store at the minute is currently closed because I'm taking a bit of a break from it. So yeah, I'm gonna try and stitch on this one till midnight and then call it a night. Okay, so on the first day I did a total of 8 hours. It's not going to show, is it? 8 hours and 40 minutes I did a total of on the Friday. I didn't actually do this last night in the end. I ended up just going to bed. So I'm going to start with this one and then I will jump to my long dog sampler, I think, because I want to get a lot done on that one. So it's been 2 hours and I have done 330 stitches on this. It's actually looking really, really nice now. You can see like the actual shape of the face. Done all of this black for this page, filled in all the like random one stitches here, so that part's all done on this page, and started on here but didn't get to finish it. So this page is almost done. It's just this little bit in the corner now, but it is looking an awful lot better. I'm going to have some lunch and then I think I'm going to move on to the long dog sampler. So it's now dinner time and I did 3 hours on this and I stitched, why is it not focusing very well? See if I can get that in. So I did 406 stitches and that was a total of 3 hours. So I'm now going to stop for tea. Don't know if I'll get any more stitching done today, probably a little bit of bedtime, but other than that the majority of it's going to be tomorrow. It is Sunday, 10 to 8, And unfortunately I didn't get any more cross stitching done last night, so I only did 5 hours yesterday, but I knew that was going to be the case because I knew I didn't have a lot of time on Saturday. So today is the last day and I'm going to be doing Venom for as long as I can this morning, and I'm going to get my housework done quickly, and then I might stitch on Tomb Raider, the new Stitch With Me image. I'm not sure yet, but I want to get a good few hours on this in the morning before I start doing some housework. I don't think I'm going to hit the 24 hours, but that's okay. So it's now 11:15, I believe. Yeah, 11:16, and all I've got done so far is an hour. I'm really not doing as well as I thought. There was a couple of things that I was doing this morning with family and stuff, but I have done 222 stitches in that hour, and I am now fully alone for the rest of the day until probably about 6 o'clock tonight. So that gives me a good 7-ish, probably about say 6.5 hours to really get stuck in and get some hours down. I highly doubt I'm going to do the full 24 hours, but I do still have tonight as well. So when it gets to 6 p.m. and my son comes home, once he's put in bed, that will give me up until midnight Sunday. Like, so that'll probably give me another, let's say even if I start at 9 o'clock, that's another 3 hours worth. So fingers crossed I can use as much time as possible today, and I'm going to stitch on Venom until I get bored, and then probably have a go at Tomb Raider, just because that's a new chart that I haven't really got anything done on yet. Okay, so it's been 4 hours, and in total on Venom I have done 902 stitches, so I think that is a good place to stop. I'm going to have a bit of a break, and then I'm going to get Tomb Raider. Right, so here is the start of Tomb Raider. So really small start. So I'm hoping I can get a fair amount of this one done with the rest of the time. So I ended up doing an hour and a half on this. I don't know if you can really show it to you. In total now, I've just checked on my phone, I have done 19 hours and 10 minutes, and it's now 6:10 on Sunday. So I highly doubt I'm gonna get to the 24, but I will get as close as I possibly can tonight once I put my son in bed in about an hour and a half. So it's 7:15. And I am actually really lucky tonight because my son wanted to go to bed early. He wanted to play on his Switch for a little while before it was time to shut it off and go to sleep. So I am going to get very close to the 24-hour cross stitch challenge. I'm going to guess. So did I say I'm at 19 hours now, I believe. I'm going to guess that I can get to 22.5. Just by it being 7:15, and I think I'm going to just stay on this chart. So I'm just going to get some work done because I think it would be nice to give this big chart more than 200 stitches a night for one night and see how much of this page I can get done. So I think I'm going to end on the Lord of the Rings, and when I'm ready to go to bed I will come back and tell you how far I got along in the challenge. Okay, so it is 10:15 on Sunday, and I think I'm going to call it a night. My back is starting to hurt, and I have done 514 stitches in these last 3 hours. So in total, I did, for this 24-hour cross-stitch challenge, I did 22 hours and 10 minutes. So I wasn't too far off the goal, but I would have liked to have hit the 24 hours. I think, I don't know if I can show you that. Yeah, 514 stitches, and I'm now at 4.18% on this chart. I actually went back to 2 strands half stitch while I was stitching this. if you've seen any of my other floss tubes, this part here is stitched in one strand tent stitch or half stitch, and all of this up here is stitched in 2 strands half stitch. And the reason why I switched to 1 is because it was getting too thick. But when I came down to this page, these are darker colours, and it just looked awful in one strand, sorry. I don't know if I can... There is a lot of white coming through, and halfway through stitching I decided to switch. It does look a bit bent there, it's because it's not straight in the hoop, so it does look a bit like it's pulling. But I don't know what to do about the strands. Do I stay with 2 count? Do I keep with 1 strand and just put up with the gaps? Because I really don't like the effect it's given on 1 strand. You can see that it's actually lighter than the 2 strands as well. It makes it like the colour's not as vibrant compared to all of this up here. This part here that was stitched in 1 strand, it just doesn't look as vibrant. So I think I will stick with the 2 strands, but I need to stitch this in a way where I stitch as many what's the way I'm thinking of doing it? So to avoid the thickness, I need to be careful how I stitch it, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I don't want to keep stopping and starting and making knots on the back, because if you look at how thick that back is from the 2 strands before, I don't want to get to that point again where it's like that compared to the 1 strand. Now that does look just as messy, but it's half the thickness. And it wasn't difficult to get the needle through, whereas this side was very, very difficult to get the needle through. So I've been trying to stitch as many stitches as I can with the same thread. That's why I've travelled quite a bit off the page, because before I was doing page by page. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm just going to stitch as many as I can with the same thread, instead of stopping and starting, because I've noticed it's not so much when I cross-country stitch, it's when I stop and start that I get the big backs. So let's hope that fixes it. And then what I might do for that 1 page that I did in 1 strand, if it's apparent, like if it looks really, really strange, I might have to go back over it. I don't know. Probably leave it knowing me, because I'm too lazy. But yeah, I've really enjoyed this 24-hour cross-stitch challenge, and I'll definitely be doing the other one. Well, the next ones this year. I believe the next one is in April, I think. So I will definitely do it again. I got a lot of progress done on a lot of different kits, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Bye.